townhomes are definitely hotcakes in Toronto and the GTA, and I'm gonna prove it to you. So if you've been waiting to get into the market, and more specifically a townhouse, maybe this video will actually help you make the decision and finally get into the market. Even if you want a condo or a detached, you will get some insights into what's really happening in the market in 2025. Previously, we heard all over the news the doom and gloom that the market was in. But then all of a sudden, in the tail end of 2024, reports started coming out like this one, and this one, and this one, that the market may finally rebound in 2025. Well, what if I told you we may already be on that road to recovery? I know, I might be getting a little overzealous here. At least, it might be on the road for recovery for townhouses. And condo townhouses to be more exact. I'm not trying to take anything away from that detached market and potentially the condo market, but hear me out for a second. I'm Jaffrey. I've been selling real estate in Toronto and Mississauga and throughout the GTA for 20 years, and my goal with this channel is just to make the buying and selling process simple. So before I get into the numbers, I want to candidly talk about why townhouses are probably the strongest type of housing in any market, almost market proof in a sense. Number one, townhouses speak to the masses. It's not much more than a condo, 2-bedroom apartment, but it's far less than a detached home. So the buyer pool for townhouses has always been quite large in terms of people's affordability. Number two, it's a dream home for the time being for many first-time buyers. Many first-time buyers dream about having that backyard, that garage, that basement playroom, and they think it's gonna come in a detached home more than $1 million. Well, you can get all of those things in a townhouse for far less. So that brings me to number three. They will always be the most affordable option for housing. Not so much apartments, I'm talking more specifically a house. So to me, all these three things combined makes it almost market proof in any market where it's always going to be in demand. Now, let's get right into the numbers of how it's looking so far in 2025. Okay, so now what I have here are condo townhouses in Toronto. We're going to look at the price change from this time last year. It's not about month to month, because month to month stats, they fluctuate. What you really want to look at is what is the comparison from this time last year. So let's do that right now for condo townhouses. And as you can see here, condo townhouses transaction price, the median transaction price in Toronto was $780,000 in January of 2024. If you move forward to January of 2025, it is at $812,000. That is a difference of 4.1%. So townhouses, condo townhouses in Toronto, they've actually gone up by 4.1%. That's not a small gain. That's pretty significant year over year. So I want to compare now. Let's look at detached homes. So now we're just going to go to detached homes. So now you can see the same chart for detached homes. If you go here, it is 1.25 million in January of 2024. And here you are at 1.292 in January of 2025. And that is up by 3.4%. So it's still pretty good. It's not nearly as much as the townhouse gains year over year, but detached have also gone up from this time last year. So now let's look at condo apartments. Condo apartments. Okay. So condo apartments this time last year, or January last year, the prices were at $623,000, and now they are at $615,000 year over year, down 1.3%. That's not that bad year over year. It might actually be approaching a stagnation point in the condo market. And if that is the case, if the condos will soon reach a stagnation point, then eventually the next step for them to go is up. In that real estate cycle, after stagnation comes appreciation. So now I want to show you something. What is the amount of these listings? How many detached homes are for sale? How many condo townhouses? And how many condo apartments? So on this chart, we're looking at the new listings volume. So the purple line here is condo apartments. It's always been more condo apartments throughout the year, from this time even last year. So currently in January of 2025, new listings volume was 2,980 as opposed to detached, which is 1,072, and then condo townhouses, which is a smaller piece of the pie at 322. So a big portion of the stats when you look at the overall housing market is gonna be the condo apartments. So that's kind of bringing that number down. But what I do want to show you is what is the sales volume in terms of property type? What type of property types are selling the most? So let's take a look at that. So what I'm going to show you here is pretty interesting. If you look here in this pie chart, condo apartments still took up almost 50% of the sales, as opposed to detached, which was 30%, and then condo townhouses, which was almost 6.5%. This is number of sales by property type. So condos are still a fair share of the whole number of sales in the property types. It also has the most number of listings. It still has the most number of sales. So the appetite is still there for people to buy condos. It's just that they have a lot of inventory to choose from. It's not like nobody's buying them. Clearly, half of the amount of sales are condo apartments in Toronto in the last year. So all of this to me is evidence that it absolutely is on the path to recovery in 2025. Now, this is from this point last year. Come 3 to 6 months from today, it might look a lot different, but if things stay on this trajectory, then definitely it is on the road to recovery. Now, if you have any questions about entering into any of these property types in Toronto, in Mississauga, or in the GTA, feel free to send me a message directly. I hope these numbers kind of help you in your decision making, because I mean, numbers speak louder than anything else, right? So in this case, it's showing you prices are going up. They're going up the most right now for townhouses. So definitely there's a lot of demand there. It's going up for detached homes, and the condos are kind of at a stagnation point. So waiting might not be your best bet right now. We may have already hit the bottom of the market and missed it already. So now if you're jumping in, could you be jumping in an appreciating market? It's too soon to tell, but I think the signs are pointing to it's probably the right time to get into the market. Remember, I'm Atar Jaffrey. I have been selling real estate in Toronto, in Mississauga, and the GTA for more than 20 years. And if you have any questions, just drop a comment below or send me a message directly. And my goal with this channel is to make the buying and selling process simple.